As 2024 has nearly come to a close, I can guarantee you for movies for 2024 has been really up and down. So here we are, we're going to talk about my top 5 most disappointing movies of 2024. And just to keep in mind guys, this is just my personal opinion and my personal list. Yours can be different, that's okay, but please keep it in civil in the comments. And also try to respect others around you. And of course, if you disagree and if you like some of these films on this list, that's completely fine. You know, movies are subjective overall. But please do not attack me if this is one of the films that you like are on this list. So let's go through this list and I'll talk about the films that left me either underwhelmed or disappointed or left me frustrated, or films that I just wished it could have done so much better of itself. So anyways, let's go on to this list at number 5. Number 5 is Night Swim. Night Swim is based on a short film by the same director who directed this movie, so I was really hoping he could bring something to expand upon it on his original vision. Unfortunately, this film came out earlier in January this year, and unfortunately this film was a huge disappointment. Some say it was bad, and that's completely understandable. It's definitely a bad film, but in my eyes, it's a disappointment. The reason why it's disappointing because I see potential in this film. There's a lot of potential behind it, and I do think it has a good concept, but the execution of the story and the overall vision of the film, it just doesn't work. The acting all around is fine. Everyone did their best. You know, Wyatt Russell is the main lead as the father who's suffering from a severe illness, and the moment he gets to the pool and he becomes cursed and he gets better and he somehow becomes obsessed and also being swayed by a certain creature, which overall this film is just an overall disappointment because the overall execution of the story just wasn't well handled, and mostly the jump scares are very predictable because every time the pool happens at night, you knew something's going to happen. You knew there's some aspects that's going to be very predictable. And it's just a real shame because I do see good stuff in there. But unfortunately, the overall story and overall plot and vision, it just doesn't work. And overall, this film is an absolute disappointment from my eyes in January this year. Coming at number 4 is Argyle, directed by Matthew Vaughn. And honestly, I was really disappointed in this one. This has so much going for it because I do like Matthew Vaughn. I really loved the first Kick-Ass film. I loved the first Kingsman. I haven't seen all the films he did, like Layer Cake, which is a film I've not seen, but I do want to check out at some point. Overall, his Kingman's sequels or prequel are not that great. I was really disappointed in those films. I was really hoping that Argyle will be the next big thing. Hopefully it can impress me. But unfortunately, due to a $200 million budget, it just went overboard with its overlines of CGI and CGI fights, and some of the action scenes are just very over the top, but not in a guilty pleasure way, which is unacceptable. But unfortunately, this film just doesn't work. Some of the humour doesn't really land for me. There are got some chuckles here and there, and the performances all around, you know, great set of actors, but most of them are wasted. Especially Bryan Cranston, who plays the villain of the film, which is a complete shame, and how they underutilise the plot, and also a lot of twists and turns just becomes obnoxious. I really want Matthew Vaughn to improve himself, or at least improve on other projects he could do, or at least try to make something simple than just a $200 budget, which is a real absolute disgrace. Coming number 3 is Kung Fu Panda 4. This film has so much hype surrounding it because I really enjoyed the first Kung Fu Panda film. Kung Fu Panda 2 is the best sequel. Even Kung Fu Panda 3 I actually do quite like, even though it's definitely the weakest in the trilogy. But after seeing Kung Fu Panda 4, I'm glad Kung Fu Panda 3 is getting more appreciation now because this film is a huge disappointment. Because this film had so much hype surrounding it, but overall they've left me really underwhelmed or left me really frustrated because the comedy itself is over-relies with the comedy in this film. It just over-relies on that stuff in the story. It just didn't take itself seriously. And for the majority of the film, the plot is just very predictable and also very cliched and also very play it safe. It just takes itself not much granted for the script of the story. And overall, the villain itself, Chameleon, voiced by Viola Davis, just wasted. He's just completely wasted character, in no much danger of threat or has no purpose or no reason to be in the film. As far as the overall plot, it's just overall a big, huge waste of time. I really want Kung Fu Panda 4 to be good, even though I heard that they are working on Kung Fu Panda 5. If there is going to be a 5th one, please improve, because I really want this film to be good. But unfortunately, this feels like a cash grab in my eyes, in my opinion. Coming in at number 2 is Moana 2. This film is such another big letdown from animation as well. And while I do love the 2016 Moana, it's still considered my favourite Disney animated film. But unfortunately, this sequel felt really rushed in my opinion. Originally, it's meant to be a Disney Plus series, but unfortunately, due to the last minute earlier this year, Disney wants to make a sequel by using this couple of scripts from the episodes from the Moana series and put it as a sequel. But you can tell that it's very disjointed and very cluttered, and it's really unfocused at times. And some of this music is just really underwhelming. It's not that interesting compared to the first one. There are some memorable moments, some humor there and there are funny, and some of the animation is really beautiful to look at. But unfortunately, due to the really bad pacing and the overall bad plot of the film, and Moana Moai's chemistry is not there as much compared to the first one, it's an overall a huge waste of time and a big letdown from Disney. If they're going to make Zootopia 2, I hope to God they learn from their list. Coming at number 1 is Joker Folie à Deux. Here we are. Joker Folie à Deux is one of my most disappointing movies of this year. The reason why it's number 1, because this film had so much potential, there's so much hype surrounding it, and a lot of people were anticipating this film, including myself. But unfortunately, Joker Folie à Deux is one of the most disappointing movies I have ever seen in my life. The reason why is because it felt more like an epilogue to the original Joker film that came out in 2019, a film that I really loved. Even though it was a bit overhyped, but I will admit it's still a great film. But unfortunately, this film just took a step back from that. It just came across as a very cluttered, very messy, unfocused, whatever film it tries to be. It tries to be a courtroom drama, it tried to be a romantic drama, and it also tried to be a musical, and it tried to juggle all these three genres and try to put them in the blender until it makes it in. It just comes across as a mess. It just can't decide what kind of film it wants to be. Wacky Phoenix and Lady Gaga are the best parts of the film, but unfortunately Lady Gaga was underutilized as Harley Quinn, and it's just a real shame because Lady Gaga is a really talented actress and she also could perform really well, but unfortunately due to the poor script, it's just a waste of time, and it really affected the film overall. And the way this film ends definitely left me either underwhelmed or angry or a little bit frustrated, and for the majority of this film, it's just a waste of time. It just shows this is a really unnecessary sequel. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Or more like, if you're going to make a sequel, maybe look at the original, and if the film ends perfectly, leave it be. Because this is why Joker Folie à Deux is one of the most disappointing movies I ever seen this year. I know some people will look back on it and they will probably find some appreciation in a year's time. Maybe it will, but as of right now, it's a disappointment. And that's my top 5 most disappointing movies of 2024. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And of course, comment down below and tell me what's your top 5 or top 10 most disappointing films of this year. And of course, let me know. And of course, guys, like, comment, subscribe, hit that icon bell for more future videos like this. Until next time, see ya!